Hey guys, this is Sean again from Sean Body and High Performance Nutrition, back again with another new topic. I was emailed and asked, what is my strategy for gaining lean muscle mass? How do I recommend people go about it? And it's really quite simple, guys. It's simple but slow, and I mean that's the frustrating part I think for a lot of people, is they don't have the patience and the dedication to stick with it long enough to see any kind of appreciable results. Even myself, oftentimes I'll question, is this working? Am I gaining muscle? Am I not? What's happening? Am I wasting my time? And etc. But as I look back, and I remember when I was like 16, 17 years old working out, been at it for a couple years, I saw guys who were, in their mid-late 20s, where I am now, who just had phenomenal physiques, or what I thought were phenomenal at the time. And I was like, am I ever going to get there? How do I get there faster? And, I've concluded now it's just time. You just need time. You need to have consistent training, consistent nutrition, and good rest, and high quality supplements as well, I think help a lot in the journey. So you need to be constantly structuring your lifting towards getting stronger. Progressive overload, increasing your strength and your weight and your volume over time is the key to inducing hypertrophy, muscular growth, right? But on top of that, it's not enough to train like an animal. You also have to eat in accordance with your goals. If it's to put on lean muscle mass, you need to be in a surplus of calories. You have to take in more calories on a daily basis than your body needs to sustain itself. How much more you take in will determine if your gains are leaner in terms of just more muscle tissue and maybe very little body fat, or if they're primarily body fat and very little muscle tissue. As I've found over time in my experience with contest dieting and bulking and trying to lean bulk and etc. and all these different things, I've tried everything. In my experience, it doesn't matter if your surplus is 1,000 calories and you're on that dreamer's bulk, or if your surplus is 200, 300 calories and you're gaining very, very slowly, almost not even to the point where you notice it, maybe like half a pound a week to where you can't even really quantify it. That's the type of situation I recommend, because you can be happier with your physique, you can feel like a bodybuilder, you can look like you lift. For me, for example, a lot of people see me at 175, 170 where I usually sit, and they say, oh man, you should put on 10 more pounds. You look great. But actually the truth is I've been 10 pounds heavier, I've been 15 pounds heavier, I've been in the 190s and all the way up to just under 200, and I look like crap. I barely even look like I lift. The thing is, you just gain a lot of body fat. So whether your surplus is just over your maintenance or if it's very high over your maintenance, I've found you don't gain much more muscle tissue. For example, in a short little story, in my first contest in 2007, I was 148 pounds on stage. After that, I went on that Dreamer's Bulk. That was really the only time I've ever gone on the Dreamer's Bulk, and I gained upwards of 40 pounds, and I was just under 200 pounds by the end of the year. When I competed in May, by the end of the year I was almost 200 pounds, eating everything in sight and training my ass off. When I dieted down again for my next show the following year, guess how much I weighed? 151 pounds. I gained 3 pounds of lean muscle mass for all of that body fat that I ended up having to lose. So yeah, I was eating everything in sight, but you know what? I would never do that again. I wouldn't recommend it. It's just not healthy. The next show I did, I went from 151 to 180. And again, when I dieted down, guess how much I competed at? 154. So the point is, my muscle mass gains were roughly the same whether I ate a tremendous surplus and bulked really, really hard, or if I just increased my surplus just a bit over my maintenance levels and kept things conservative and just continue to train hard. So now I don't go over 175 or so without, on purpose, because I don't want to have to deal with extra body fat. I want to stay in shape. I want to have good conditioning. I want to be able to move around, and those things don't happen when you have higher body fat. So my number one piece of advice when you're trying to gain lean muscle is that not to overemphasize how much food you need to eat. You need to eat only as much as it takes to get the scale moving ever so slightly. If it starts moving too fast, you're not gaining lean muscle, anabolics aside. There's a very, very slow rate at which muscle's gained after you've gotten past the initial, 6 months to a year of weight training. You need to understand that muscle gains just come slow, and you need to appreciate what can happen faster, which is strength gains. You need to put your faith and your work ethic and your determination towards strength gains. You can't will yourself to gain muscle, but you can will yourself to get stronger. You can train harder, and that is what will unlock the muscle growth. So with that said, take that to heart, apply that, eat just as much as you need to get the scale moving, train with intensity and get stronger, rest and recover and get proper supplementation, and you will see muscle growth.